Welcome back. A much calmer tone to the vice presidential debate compared to the Trump-Biden fiasco from last week. Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris battled it out in the only VP debate during this election. So who won? Joining us now is Todd Graham. He is the director of debate at Southern Illinois University. Thank you so much for joining us, Todd. I understand you have not gotten any sleep. So we appreciate your time this morning. How do you feel that the debate went last night?
Well, it seemed on its face like it was a better debate, but the problem is you've still got to have better moderation. The moderator has to do their job because the primary goal of debate is to seek the truth. So if the candidates aren't being honest, if they, then you've got to hold them to that. You've got to make them basic stuff, make them answer the questions. So I didn't think that Mike Pence really did his job last night, which would be answer the questions directly and try to be as honest as he possibly could. Whereas on the other hand, I thought Kamala Harris did a pretty nice job of answering the questions.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't believe how often Mike Pence just completely evaded the question. And also it was frustrating, I thought, that he just kept ignoring the moderator who was trying to stop him from talking. He just completely ignored her and would keep talking. It was actually interesting to see that, in fact, at the end, they both had almost the exact amount of speaking time. And yet I felt like he was just talking over the moderator when she was trying to stop him from continuing, when his time was up.
Yeah, I think she tried to make up for it a little bit toward the end of the debate because he was clearly going over time and talking over and interrupting a lot, frankly. So it's not the same quality of speaking time, though, is it? I mean, if you give one person the same amount of speaking time as the other, yet one of them continually gets talked over, like Kamala Harris did, or interrupted, then you don't get the same quality of answers. So I do think Mike Pence was, kind of violating the rules, and the moderator needed to be a little bit stronger on, asking simple follow-up questions like, can you prove that? Or what's your example of that? Or reminding them this was the topic. Why are you talking? Can you please answer that question?
Exactly.
Simple things like that.
I totally agree with you. Well, there was a point, several points, obviously, when Harris does shut Pence down. And let's hear a little clip from the debate last night.
He will not raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000 a year.
He said he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well, wait.
I'm speaking.
It'd be important if you said the truth. Is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cuts?
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
But even that wasn't that effective either. I felt that she could have shut him down a lot more vigorously at times. And I guess there might be a strategy there because, she and Joe Biden are leading in the polls, so she maybe deliberately did not want to be too aggressive. Is that possible?
Pam, yep. I think you're right, Pam. But remember, and you should know this because of the business you're in, Pam, there's a double standard for women and men in public speaking and in debates as well. And so if she comes across too aggressive and she shuts him up, that would be perceived differently by the public than it would be if a man were doing the same thing. And I wish that weren't true, but it simply is. Study after study in academia proves that women are perceived as more aggressive when they're simply being assertive compared to a man doing the same thing.
For sure.
Yeah, while she could have done something differently, I think she had to walk a fine line there.
We have one more clip from the debate from last night. We're going to run that right now.
When you speak about the Supreme Court, though, I think the American people really deserve an answer, Senator Harris. Are you and Joe Biden going to pack the court if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed? This is a classic case of if you can't win by the rules, you're going to change the rules. Now, you've refused to answer the question. Joe Biden has refused to answer the question.
And he refuses to answer the questions about a lot of other topics.
Well, this is funny. He said to her, this is the classic case of changing the rules. That's what he was doing at the time.
Yes.
The question had nothing to do with packing the court. That was his own question he was asking to Kamala Harris. That was not the moderator's question. And all of a sudden, he's demanding that Kamala Harris answer his questions. So he was literally changing the rules as he was talking about.
So true, so true. What do you think is going to happen in November?
Oh, I have no idea. I hope people vote. It would be nice that people actually voted, but we'll see. We'll see what the turnout is. I think Kamala Harris had a really good message at the end. She said, as Joe Biden said, just vote. And they're trying to get people not to vote on the other side.
Yeah.
So I liked that point. I thought that was good.
Very good. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. You have a good morning.
Interesting few weeks to come. Thanks so much.